Plaintiff, Jante Spencer, met the defendant at a party and they became friends. Jante claims she thought she was rescuing the defendant from an abusive relationship. But after she took her in, they started an intimate relationship, and Jante now thinks the whole thing was a ploy. Jante's suing her ex-girlfriend for rent and childcare expenses. Defendant Nisha Pruitt says when she first met Jante, she was romantically interested in her, but she didn't want to pursue her because she was too young at the time. Nisha admits that she moved in with Jante, but doesn't believe she owes her for anything because they were living together as a family.
Prove your case.
In 2001, I met the defendant at a party, at my graduation party, through a mutual friend. After we met at my graduation party in 01, I never really saw her again. Then in 2008, I began receiving messages on my MySpace page from her, you know, stating that I had some really sexy pictures up, and she was telling me how great I look all the time and that she wants to hang out with me one day. And so we corresponded through MySpace for a little while. Then we eventually, I picked her up from where she was a few times and dropped her off, but I never got to hang out with her. Finally, one day she called, and I thought she was going to say the same thing, let's hang out, but instead she told me that her boyfriend had beat her up, she was going to move out of Chicago, she had nowhere to live, and to hurry up and come get her because she didn't want to be left in the dark. And so I stopped what I was doing because of her son. She has a child. And I ran to her, get her and her son, put them in everything that could fit in my car, brought them back to my home, tried to tell her, you know, but the first thing I noticed, though, when she got in the car was that she didn't have a black eye. That kind of went over me, but I didn't think about it again. I was like, well, maybe it's gone or something, maybe. So when we got to my house, I suggested to her, after it became her spending more than one night, I was like, you know, why don't we just be roommates? Because I'm a single mom, I've got my 13-year-old daughter, I bought a house, and I'm a college student, it would be good. So she said, cool, we'll live together. But then around June of 08, she began to stay in my room all the time. So we kind of end up getting an intimate relationship.
Oh. Go ahead. Was that your first? Did you all?
Yes, that's my first real relationship with the...
Okay.
And
now,
so...
you know that she tricked you, right? That all that come over, I've been beat up?
Yeah.
That was game. Wasn't nothing on her eye?
Yeah. Later on, I realized, this might have been a ploy for her to get with me.
There's no question about that.
Yeah. And so...
Am I right or wrong?
No.
Yes, I am.
No,
You're grinning. That's why you're grinning.
No.
Before we get to the rent and child care, let me allow her to respond or comment on any of this.
Well, towards the end of May of 08, I did have a situation where I did need her help, and I did ask her to come and get me. And
so you had been abused?
Yeah, but I didn't have a black eye, but I was going through something. And I asked her, you know, if she could come and get me because I really didn't have nobody else to call on, and I had my son. And when I moved into her house, well, when we got to her house, like she said, I stayed there a few days, a little bit more than a day or two. And then she was like, why don't we just be roommates? So I was like, okay, fine. But I did like her, though. I liked her back when we met, but I was too young. I felt I was too young to talk to her.
So you like men and women during that time?
Yes.
All right, so you and she began to see each other or live with each other and go together.
Right.
All right, and then how does she owe you for rent and child care?
Okay, well, we agreed when she moved in that she would pay $400 a month, which included all the gas, the lights, everything, and she would pay $195 for me to take care of her son while she's at work. All of a sudden, November and December, her checks began getting short, and she began not coming home sometimes, so I would have her son all night. She would leave the house every day and then sometimes come back with no check at all. And it got to the point where I discovered that in December she had been fired from her job. But she was leaving out the house every day telling me and her son she's going to work. The lies started catching up at this point when she began to tell me, oh, don't worry about anything because I'm getting an inheritance money of $125,000, which one of her family members died.
Did pass? Okay.
Yeah, a young boy. So I wouldn't think she was lying off of
Right.
something like this because this is her baby cousin who
Okay.
died and they won a lawsuit. Around February, we get our income tax checks, me and my sister. And she goes to tell my sister, which I have a witness statement from my sister, where my sister's at my home talking to me one day. You know, her check is short. She's like, well, you know, I want to go get a car, but then again, I've got the kids. I want to take the
See
kids
what you
shopping.
have. Ma'am, do you agree you owe all this?
I mean, I feel like we were more than roommates at the time. We were living together. You know, we were in a relationship. And before I lost my jobs or what have you, you know, I contributed to the household too.
Did you all have an agreement that you would pay? And
Yeah,
did
we
you...
had an agreement.
All
that
right,
that I
so when
would
you
pay.
were unable to pay, did you all change that agreement to pay when you can, or I got you covered for until you get a job?
No.
Well, if you all didn't change your agreement, then you do owe.
Right, but at the same time though, like around January, I couldn't work.
Does your witness want to speak?
Yes.
All right, come on up. State
How you
your
doing,
name.
Judge, man?
Fine, how you doing?
My
State
name
your
is Ronnie McGee. I just came so I could testify that she is a habitual liar.
That's the fact.
And I was around all last summer, and she was staying
Hold
there.
on. You say she's an habitual liar?
Yes.
All right. Dora, watch this. Are you?
No.
There you go. Go ahead. That was a lie there, right? Go ahead.
I mean,
To your understanding, she owes this money?
yes.
All right. Ma'am, do you have a defense or not?
I mean, my defense is that,
She should have understood.
no, not only that, I mean, during the summertime, like he said, I was over there. I wasn't living there or trying to live there during
You're
the summer.
talking about everything but this money you owe the woman. $3,580. You have no legal defense to the money you agreed that you owe. Have a good day. Judgment for the plaintiff.
Thank you, Judge Mathis. I just wish she'd stop being a pathological liar.
I still love her. I mean, that's all I can tell you. I'm sorry. I ain't never mean to make your life like that or cause you any pain.
Hi, Judge Mathis. My name is Andrea, and I have a question for you. At what age could a minor legally emancipate him or herself?
Well, Andrea, the laws vary from state to state. In Illinois, for example, a minor must be at least 16 years old, whereas in California, you only need to be 14. In some states, there are no age restrictions, but in those states, a child must show that he wishes to be free from parental control and no longer needs that control and protection, must prove that he has sufficient income to support himself, understand the consequences of being free from parental control, and have an acceptable plan for living on their own.